Okay, folks, today we just want to welcome you back to Mr. Cast Iron, and we're going to be making a smash burger with onions. But first of all, I want to show you a new gift that Teresa bought me. This is a Lodge rectangular cast iron grill press, and what we're going to use this for is to press the hamburgers down real flat to make our smash burgers. Now, I've already unpackaged this, but I want to show you how easily this is to put together. Here's, once you open it up, there's instructions here. It's very simple, actually. There's a spiral handle, and that is heat resistant handle. It's got two flathead screws, and then there's two flat washers, and then there's two nuts. So all you really have to do to this is come in from the bottom, place your screw in there like that, place your handle on top, add your flat washer to it, and then you come down and you put your nut on there, and then you repeat the process over here on the second one like that. And then once you get it bolted down and tightened up, what you want to do with one of these grill presses is basically just rinse it off and dry it real good. Anytime you're done with it, you want to hand wash it, dry it, and then lightly oil it, put it away for the next time. So we're going to do that now, and we'll be back in just a second. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get our onions ready to make our smash burgers with onions. And I've got this neat little Pampered Chef mandolin that Teresa bought me. Now, it's sharp, so you got to be careful with this. But what we're going to do, we're going to shave these onions very thin so they will caramelize on our cast iron griddle once we start the smash burgers. Now, it's just it's a razor blade here that you got to adjust the thickness of what you want here. There's a lock where it's locked, and then you got a step 1, step 2, and a step 3 on thickness. We're going to go to number 1 because we want our onions very, very thinly sliced. Also, this Pampered Chef mandolin comes with a little tool here. Looks like a little handle that basically when you pull it back like that, it has 4 prongs where you can poke it into your onion or a tomato, whatever you're slicing, and that way it'll keep your hands away from the razor blade. But I'm not going to get down that far, but I just want to show you how this works. We're going to go ahead and shave our onions now. Like I said, I've got it on number 1, so we're just going to slide this across this razor blade and thinly slice our onions. And once you get to that point right there, you could take and just keep your hands away from that razor blade like that right there. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to finish shaving our onions, and we'll be back here in a minute. We'll begin to make our hamburgers, and we'll show you how we make smash burgers. Okay, well, I've got my ground beef balled up. It's about the size of a tennis ball. And what we want to do now, we've got a cast iron, Lodge cast iron griddle on our gas stove that we're going to be cooking these on today. So what you need to really do is basically just set those out here, and we're going to take our salt and pepper, add a little bit of that to it. Then I'm going to take some of my onions and just place on top here, and then we're going to take our grill press and we're just going to press our burger press and just press that down just like that right there. Press it down to about a 1/4 inch thick, and we're going to let that begin to char up. And as soon as we get char around the outside edge, we'll go ahead and we'll flip that over and we'll grill the other side. But just to kind of give you a little brief history about Oklahoma onion burgers, or some people call them smash burgers or whatever. But back during the Depression of 1929 to the period of 1939 was what was called the Great Depression. And a lot of people had trouble getting ground beef and hamburger meat and things like that, but onions were very plentiful. And so what folks would do, they would take their onions and mix with their hamburger meat to help add more meat to the meal so they could feed more people with it. And that's kind of how that got started. Now, I don't know if it originally got started in Oklahoma, but I know in Ardmore, Oklahoma, that's where the Oklahoma onion burger comes from. And so that's basically kind of what we're doing, just a smash burger with onions. But as you can see, the onions will begin to caramelize around underneath the hamburger grease. And once we get a little char on the outside edge, we'll go ahead and we'll flip those. All right, well, another thing I'm going to do is kind of steam my buns too. So I'm just going to kind of lay these on top of these while they're continuing to cook, and let those flavors from the hamburger grease and the onions flavor the buns. Now you can toast them if you like, but you don't necessarily have to. All right, I've got these flavored up. I'm going to go ahead and toast them too before we're done. So, but I need to flip these burgers real quick. Now Teresa asked me about the onions, why we put them on top. Now you can do it either way, but this allows these onions to get in the top of the hamburger meat and be able to work down in the meat like that to flavor it. So. Actually, these are a little bigger than most people make, but that's okay. I like a big hamburger, so they're going to be just fine. We're going to make it work. Now, once you get them to this point here, you need to come back and salt these. Pepper them real good. Go ahead and add your cheese to it and let that be melting. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pull one of these. Turn our heat off. Go ahead and cut this. And there you have a smash burger with onions. Now I like mustard on mine. I didn't put any on it, but you can put any kind of topping on your smash burgers. I mean, some people like pickles and tomatoes and lettuce or whatever. I just like them just like they are, the old-fashioned way, with just onions and cheese and ground beef and grilled buns just like this. So anyway, we hope you guys enjoy this. We're going to get us a bite of it for lunch, and y'all have a great day. It's Mike and Mrs. Cast Iron over here. We'll see you. Bye-bye.